Okay, so there's some things that you just don't bring to school, whether that's because they're illegal, because they're dangerous, or even just a simple distraction. There's a lot of things you aren't allowed to bring to school, but one thing I bet wouldn't even cross your mind is a ninja star. Yeah, apparently somebody actually brought one of those to school and tried to sell it there for some reason. I'm not going to keep you guys waiting any longer, so let's begin the story time. Alright, so like pretty much every single story on the channel nowadays, this was sent in by a subscriber. I know, nothing super interesting has happened to me that I either haven't told yet or not enough time has passed to the point where I can tell it. But anyways, we're going to name the subscriber Tyler for the story. Now, when Tyler was in middle school, there were obviously some nice behaved people, and there were some not so nice people, and some people that were just flat out jerks. That's the case at every school, kids are just like that in middle school. And there were two kids in Tyler's school in particular who I'll call James and Heidi for the story. Now, James was described to me by the subscriber as just your average middle school troublemaker, the one who talks in class, is rude to the teacher, that kid. We've all known a bunch of kids like that at some point. Now, Heidi, on the other hand, was described as a not so nice mean girl, which probably means that she's the gossipy girl who thinks she's so much better than everybody else when, in reality, the only reason she even has friends is because she's rich and has cool stuff, not because they actually like being around her. Okay, so when Tyler was in grade 6, he was just chilling in class one day, minding his own business, when he overheard a conversation between James and Heidi. James was talking about how he had a 3D printer and stuff, which I personally think is pretty cool. I'm not like really into 3D printing or anything myself, but I have a friend who really likes that stuff, and he's actually made some really cool things with this 3D printer. Apparently, this James kid would 3D print different things and sell them for like $5 to people. So he basically had his own little 3D printing business going on, which, like, good for him. He's out there making money at a young age. That's always really cool to see. Now, Heidi was aware of James's 3D printing business, and she asked him if he could 3D print her a ninja star, specifically a sharp one. For those of you who don't know what a ninja star is, you know the weapons that Zane, the white ninja, had in Lego Ninjago? Yeah, those are ninja stars. And so Heidi wants James to print her one of them for some reason, maybe just because she thought it would be cool or whatever, or maybe she wanted to start throwing it at people. Who knows? Don't recommend it. I really don't think it's a very good idea. You could hurt someone, and that's not fun. But she could have been thinking that as a reason to get the ninja star. You never know. Anyways, so Heidi asks James to 3D print her the ninja star, and he's all on board with the idea. He wants his money, he wants to keep his little business going, and now it looks like that he has a potential customer. So he's like, alright, bet, I'll do it. I'll sell you the ninja star for $5. After that, their whole conversation ends, and Tyler kind of stops eavesdropping on them. He wasn't really trying to eavesdrop or anything. They were just apparently talking so loud that Tyler basically couldn't not hear them. Okay, so now we're gonna fast forward a couple of days and the story picks back up during Tyler's phys ed class. Now, phys ed class is usually the fun class that everybody looks forward to during the day. Usually you're playing some sort of sport or a really fun game. It's just that class. And I'd assume since everybody would usually be super distracted during phys ed, that's the time when James decided to sell Heidi the ninja star that he was going to sell her. He probably thought that, like, nobody would notice and that it would be super easy. Like, it wasn't directly said by the subscriber, that's why he's given it to her. But that's just kind of what I'm assuming. Anyways, so James is holding the ninja star in a little rag and tries giving it to Heidi because James wants his money. He's out here making a living for himself, selling these 3D printed weapons. Like, good for him, I guess, for making money. But right after he actually gives it to Heidi, when Heidi kind of grabs it, she yells out in pain, going, ow! As I guess the sharp part of the ninja star kind of pokes her through the rag or whatever. But what she does next, I honestly couldn't believe how incredibly dumb this was, because after the ninja star slightly kind of scratched her through the rag it was in, she decided to take the ninja star out of the rag, which made it visible to everybody. Now, I don't really know if you guys know this or not, but you're not supposed to have weapons at school. Whether they're 3D printed or not, you just shouldn't have them at school. And if you visibly show them for everybody else to see, that can be pretty bad. And yeah, Heidi gets in a lot of trouble. She does get sent down to the principal's office by the phys ed teacher because I guess they thought it was her who brought it since she was the one actually holding it. So once Heidi's at the principal's office, she tells them that James was the one who brought the Ninja Star to school and that he just simply gave it to her. Now, I know some of you guys are gonna be like, oh, she snitched, she can't do that. She wasn't the one who brought it to school. Like, I am not a fan of snitching by any means, don't get me wrong, but if you get accused of something that somebody else did, you kind of got to rat them out at that point. Like, that's not getting them in trouble, that's getting yourself out of trouble. Anyways, so Heidi tells them that James gave her the Ninja Star, and the principal decides to take the Ninja Star away from Heidi. As far as I know, she didn't ever get it back, which, like, you can just tell her not to bring it to school again. You don't have to just take it from her. Like, that belongs to her. Just tell her not to bring it to school again. It's really that simple. But the even crazier part is what they said to James about this whole situation. Not only do they tell James not to sell stuff in school grounds again, which I feel like honestly is a pretty valid punishment, but his alternative is that if he does sell 3D printed objects in school grounds again, instead of getting suspended or expelled or anything, he'll have to give the school a cut of his profits. I'm not kidding. The school actually said that if James sold stuff again, that he had to give them some of the money. That's just, like, I don't even know how to feel about that, honestly. That's just crazy. Just let the kid run his little business. He's out here making a life for himself. Don't ruin the kid's dreams, you know? 3D printed weapons, yeah, I can understand not wanting that to be sold in schools. I kinda get it. But what if James was trying to sell, like, I don't know, a 3D printed Yoda or something? Or just something harmless like that? But no, I guess it applies to all the 3D printed stuff, which I think is pretty unfair, but whatever. The subscriber, Tyler, apparently knows the phys ed teacher really well, so that's how he was able to figure out all this information. Anyways, thank you so much to the subscriber for sending this in. I really do appreciate it. If you want to listen to another story of mine, on screen right now is the dude with the worst riz of all time.